Amadi. See, look. See, Alpha. The only thing that concern me for here. The only thing that concern me for here now, what I do for here. Anybody may day also me what I make condom. If you hungry, you come downstairs and make condom. Then everybody will go up there, so the people will do it. Then I'll come from here, they'll call the thing and put them now only donor will tell me. I know how much they take their laptop for me. This one make one day. Which one? I mean, that guy. Don't leave that guy. Leave one. You don't avoid that guy. If you want to show, leave him in the show. Not with this guy. Don't leave him big. I know for that guy, but that. Hey, where my day? No, the other one. NS. Converse. It's not even like my day again. I'm funny. That's not your son name. That's not your son name. My name. How come you Destiny? Give my name. What's your son name? Omoyi. Omoyi. Who are you, man? Who are you, man? No. Okay. May not what I think, may come down. I don't care. May pass it to Oga, may everybody pass their things, may come down. Not be one person that is doing work. May pass it to. I know where the next came from. Where this guy? Where this guy? May come down. Where now? Where are this one? She did up. You are sitting over me? I don't know what it is before, but it is. May come down. No need. You sure? Maybe now they are saying something. Nobody else saying anything. I don't want your name. I only say something. America I've lived before. How far the American are used for this now? Don't know. But don't be there, sir. Don't remember that. I apply for this, I don't find it. Don't remember that. Why not the I'm one or two arrange a stranger. No, you know the set. You suppose the set. So even show some lights as I try to come. What's it? Somebody go touch it.
I did block. Okay, safe. Because if I can make it arrange and I will take time for the plan. First I do. Sorry.
Well, so I know where nobody got the words. I don't want you to because no matter the deal what happen, it's not going to change anything. That laptop, that's the last laptop. I know that the screws before they buy that laptop. That's why they carry out so much.
And the screen never.
It's 4 for grand. It's too bad for the tax. I never know which one. Only thing one for laptop is spoiled. That's bad. So me not go get money and I will see how to something. See I want to do it or want to do it. So all those ones, you know the change anything. Go up for
Okay. So this app is it is control the zooming. Okay, mine display. Go ahead, zoom out. So the way I set up now, automatic. You by yourself, you arrange the focus, yes. So I just because I use this what do you call it? This screen here. Because not the screen I want now. So I just press and do it once. But you will move more to make Tesla do this shit. I will Tesla do it. We'll change the color. Yeah, I know what I change. We'll change it down to the passport. The passport to this one. That's what I mean. I want to do it. Come.
Directors of academic academic programs and institutes, principal officers of the university, and of course the Vice Chancellor, receiving the Vice Chancellor's procession. The Vice Chancellor, the distinguished and resourceful Professor Lilian Salami, represented today at this inaugural lecture by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Ray Ozolo, other principal officers of the university, provost, deans and directors, professors emeriti, other professors and scholars here present, government functionaries, your Royal Highnesses, staff and students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure this afternoon to welcome you to today's inaugural lecture. This is the 299th in the inaugural lecture series of the University of Benin, to be delivered by Professor Veromica, Viola, Neekay, Akwukwuma. She is an experienced professor of software engineering. She'll be talking today on the topic, Metrics of the Invisible Enabler, my journey as a software engineer. May I now invite the registrar, Mr. Demola Bobola, MNIM, FCIPM, to introduce the Vice Chancellor and personalities of the Vice Chancellor's entourage.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly allow me to abide by the protocol as already established by the University PRO. Today, on the Vice Chancellor's entourage, the Vice Chancellor herself, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. The Vice Chancellor of this university is a very reputable scholar, a distinguished academic of note, professor of professors, a woman who has transformed the landscape of the University of Benin, restoring the university to its pride among the committee of very great and very reputable universities in this country and beyond. The current chairman Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities, and also the Vice President, Association of African Universities, and the pillar of education in the whole of Africa. Please let's put our hands together. While we continue to figure out where the Vice Chancellor is, the Vice Chancellor has today delegated one of his very dependable and workaholic aide, among the Vice Chancellors, Deputy Vice Chancellors. The Vice Chancellor will always say that all those people around her, they are workaholic, driving her to do even more for the university. And today, we have the man who delivered the inaugural lecture of this university very long time ago, and he said, the more you look, the more you see. An adventure is a pharmacological discovery. And today I'm talking about the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Ray Ozono, who will come out today. Of course, the other Deputy Vice Chancellors are also very much here. And this time around we have Professor of Ophthalmology, and somebody who told us some time ago that you need to reduce the scourge of avoidable blindness. And that's as far back as 2021, when she gave the inaugural lecture here. The Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Association, Professor Mrs. Catherine Okowa. Of course, we have the third leg of this journey, where the University of Benin started from Ekenwa campus. And we have the Deputy Vice Chancellor in place there. And the man who delivered the 272nd inaugural lecture of this university. And for some of us who are there, we remember the word Bobo Nishe as an actor. Professor William Ayinde, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of campus. The Vice Chancellor's entourage will have a man who is stepping into a very big shoe. His dad is a very big man himself. The acting bossa of this university, Mr. Gabriel Osadolo. Please, let's give him a round of applause very much. He is the one in charge of our finances with the Vice Chancellor. And the more you clap, the more the money will start to flow. We have a man who want to be referred to as Esquire. I merely want to call his name. He's Choyo Medicine. Water is part of the name. Esquire, the acting university librarian. We have with us the very distinguished and reputable professor of medicine from our very reputable College of Medical Sciences, the Provost, Professor Wilson Sano. Of course, the Acting Dean School of Postgraduate Studies, Engineer Professor S.A. Aliu. The number one student on this campus, even though he wears the toga of is eminently a professor, but he's our number one student, and anybody can call on him anytime. He will respond as a student of this university. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly allow me to present to us the Dean of Struggle and of course, Dean of Student Affairs, Professor A.C. Ivodaro. The post dean of today is a brand new dean, although he has been launched last week, but he's still launching his appointment as a brand new dean of the Physical Sciences Faculty, Professor E.O. Ayoyi. We have another brand new dean in the house. This time around, where food and security is very important. The Dean Faculty of Agriculture, once inducted by society of this university, Professor David Izeko. I think we should give him a round of applause. Professor of Benin Medical Foundation. After serving one capacity, you return to another capacity to serve. It stands Professor of Benin out. And today we have representing the Dean Faculty of Arts, Dr. Ehie Mua, GF. The Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor F.O. Agureyu. The Dean of our Vice Chancellor of the Faculty of Education, Professor Kingsley Oboro-Diwa. And the Dean School of Dentistry, Professor F.O. Omoride. The Dean Faculty of Engineering, Professor E.A. Ogunjo. And the Dean of Environmental Sciences, Engineer Sofia Professor Igato Irugbe Raphael. He is a Russian. He's only wearing Nigerian color. So the Dean Faculty of Law is being represented today by Professor B. Bazwai. And of course, the Dean of Life, this time around, Life Sciences, Professor M.J. Orui. Dr. Samuel Osifo is representing the Dean Faculty of Management Sciences. The Dean School of Medicine today is very much on his feet, Professor Winston Osaro Gabi. And the Dean Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor A. Opara. Dr. I.M. Ayedo is standing in for the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences. Professor O. Aikuvo is the Director Distance Learning Program of this university. Professor E.E. Obiagwe is the Director Center for Entrepreneurship Development. The Director Center for Educational Technology, Professor Hassan Oyenkena. The Director Intellectual Property Office, IPCTU, Professor A.E. Ogbebe. And of course, the Director of the Technical Center for Aquaculture and Food Security, Professor Mrs. Ishoma Obo. Professor Mrs. Ujiro Igudu is the Director of the SDG arm of this university. Professor Mrs. Fineti Ngozi Unuigwe, Professor of Law and the Director of Quality Assurance of this university. Please let's give her and of course, the man who is standing very well on his feet, and glory to God, who has been advancing the cause of this university as the Director of the Advancement Office, and one-time orator, and so many other positions in this university. Professor Eti Eragwe. Professor Mrs. P.E. Orukwe is the Director of the Advanced Digital Engineering Center, ADEN. The Director of IPES in Ekewa Campus, Dr. E.O. Okato is here. Of course, we have a professor, brand new professor this time around. We call him Doctor has ended. We now have Professor O.M. and here the Director of Student Guidance Research. Of course, we have the Deputy Registrar of Senate Matters, Mrs. Egiato, leading the Vice Chancellor's session. Please let the Vice Chancellor's session have the round of applause. Please permit me now to invite the acting Vice Chancellor at this occasion to present the Vice Chancellor's
Greatest Unibe. Greatest Unibe. I can hear the louder. Greatest Unibe. Good evening, distinguished audience. Wonderful mix of town and gown. Please permit me to align the protocol already established. I always choose to align. I don't start because my weight is light, so it will not make much of difference. I'd like to recognize a few persons nonetheless. One is our own dear Professor Stella Shebeke, Vice Chancellor, University of Akwukwuma. I also respectfully recognize our former registrar, retired Mrs. Ukasuya Oshodi. As already been said, the chief priest of this academic synagogue, son of Wednesday, absent. That's our very, very vivacious, but not vicious, and vice Professor Lilian Akwukwuma Salami. Can you please give her applause in ascension? She sends her very warm regards to every one of you through wireless fidelity modem. Those from computer science, I guess they will appreciate what I'm talking about. Pardon the rest of us. I proceed to read her address. It is with great delight that I welcome you all to the 299th inaugural lecture series of the University of Benin. Today's lecture is the 70th to be delivered in my tenure as Vice Chancellor of this university, and the 5th in the Department of Computer Science. Our university is running very, very smoothly. Academic activities are in full gear, and next week, 13th and 14th of February precisely, we'll be hosting local, national, and international scientists and researchers in our 4th University of Benin Annual Research Day, UBAD. You are all invited to the academic paper presentations and exhibitions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our lecturer for today. She is Professor Veromica Viola Neekay Akwukwuma. The title of her lecture is Metrics of the Invisible Enabler, My Journey as a Software Engineer. Professor Veromica Viola Neekay Akwukwuma was born on 29 November 1959 to the family of Mr. Johnson Ubewe Aje and Mrs. Margaret Ona Ubewe Aje, Ni Ofili of Obialo in Delta State. She started her secondary school education at Baptist High School, Orerope, but later transferred to Ole College, Ole, where she obtained the Teacher's Grade 2 certificate in 1976. She attended the College of Education, Africa, where she obtained the National Certificate in Education in Mathematics Physics in 1981. She did the mandatory one-year National Youth Service in the Federal Government Girls College, Goko, Benue State between 1981 and 1982. She obtained the Bachelor's degree in Education in 1984 and the Master's degree in Education in 1990 in Mathematics Education from the University of Benin. She further obtained a postgraduate diploma in Computer Science from the University of Lagos in 1991, a Master of Science degree in Computer Science from the University of Benin in 1997, and a PhD in Computer Science in 2007, also from the University of Benin. So she is truly an alumnus, or alumna, as they say for women. Professor Akwukwuma started her academic career as lecturer 3 in the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science at the College of Education in Kiadolo in 1986. She joined the services of the University of Benin as lecturer 2 in 1997 and rose through the ranks to the position of Professor of Software Engineering in 2014. She has held several academic and administrative positions within and outside the University of Benin. Examples of these: Acting Head, Department of Computer Science, 2010 to 2012, Head, Department of Computer Science, 2015 to 2016, Member, Senate Representative on Student Disciplinary Committee, 2017 to 2019, Chairman, Committee on Central Records Processing Unit, ICT of the University of Benin, 2021 to 2023, Faculty of Physical Sciences Representative, on the board of the Center for Gender Studies, 2017 to 2019, Member, Senate Representative on Students Disciplinary Committee, 2017 to 2019, Secretary, Member, Professor of Inaugural Lecture Series Committee, 2006 to date. Professor Akwukwuma belongs to several professional associations. Examples: she is a fellow, Nigerian Computer Society. As a member of the Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria, a member of the Organization of Women in Science for the Developing World, and also a member International Network of Women Engineers and Scientists. Professor Akwukwuma has served as external examiner to many Nigerian universities. She has also served in various resource verification and program accreditation panels of the National Universities Commission for undergraduate and postgraduate programs in computer science. She has over 40 publications in local, national, and international peer-reviewed journals. She has co-authored for the Mathematical Association of Nigeria many primary and secondary school books. I thought I should receive some applause. At least for those of us that use Lacombe, and Durell, and what again? Well, many people don't belong to that generation. She has attended many local international conferences and has successfully supervised 3 PhD and several master's degree students. Professor Akwukwuma has passion for reading, worshiping God, she says, and traveling. She is a Christian, happily married to Mr. Obi Ifeanyi Chukwu Akwukwuma. And their marriage is blessed with 2 children. Distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure on behalf of Madam Vice Chancellor to invite Professor Veromica Viola Akwukwuma
great humility, sincere gratitude to the Almighty God, in appreciation of the rare privilege and honor by the professors, I stand here to deliver the 299th inaugural lecture series of this great university, titled Lectures of its Invisible My Journey as a Software. This is the 5th inaugural lecture for the Department of Computer Science. The first was delivered by Professor Neekay in 2011, second by Professor Mrs. Neekay 2014, third by Professor Prof in 2020, and the fourth by Professor Mrs. Akwukwuma in 2021. My lecture is subdivided into 2 sessions. Session 1 examines the concept of software and its metrics, and my research efforts are presented in section 2. Information technology is revolutionizing the way we live and work. It is changing all aspects of human lives and lifestyle. Digital revolution has given mankind the ability to treat information with mathematical precision, transmit it with high accuracy, and manipulate it at will. Computers and communications technologies are becoming integral part of human lives. Madam Vice Chancellor, the driving force behind this is the computer software. What then is a computer software? According to Topic 2002, software is written programs or procedures or rules and associated documentation pertaining to the operation of computer systems and that are stored in read and write memory. Software projects are becoming more and more complex in size, sophistication, and technologies used, with resulting software products that cater for millions of users. Various software systems are used to control a wide range of activities, such as mission-critical applications, banking and hospital management systems, sophisticated power plants, up to mundane tasks like operating a door locking system and even desktop publishing. The increasing demand for software, the complexity of new software processes, and the critical nature of applications in which software is used implies that software has become the central component in many complex activities. The challenge of producing quality software requires specialized and powerful techniques. Software engineers, therefore, adopt a systematic and organized approach to produce quality software systems in the most cost-effective way. Software is invisible, not constrained by materials, nor governed by physical laws or manufacturing processes. This means that software can easily become extremely complex and difficult to understand. Software has certain characteristics which we call quality attributes that makes it tangible or gives it visibility. Software quality, according to IEEE in 1983, is the degree to which software possesses a desired combination of attributes. They are typically referred to as quality factors or quality characteristics and models. They are subdivided into external quality factors and internal quality factors. Measurement. What is it and why do it? Measurement is the assignment of numbers to objects in accordance with some rules. Measures are used to better understand the attributes of the models created and to assess the quality of the engineered products or systems used. The importance of measuring attributes of non-object in precise quantitative terms has long been recognized as crucial to enhancing the understanding of an environment. And these are summarized by Lord King as follows, and I quote: when you measure what you are speaking about and express it in numbers, you know something about it. But when you cannot express it in numbers, your knowledge is of a meager and unsatisfactory kind. It may be the beginning of knowledge, but you have scarcely in your thoughts advanced to the state of science. Modeling software context. Within the software context, a measure provides the quantitative evidence of the extent, amount, dimension, capacity, size of some attributes or process. Quantitative measures of quality of software are collectively referred to as software metrics. Factors that affect quality software can either be measured directly or can be measured indirectly. It is difficult and in some cases impossible to develop direct measures of quality factors. Therefore, a set of metrics are defined and used to develop expressions for each factor according to the following relations, as shown in equation 1.1. The F subscript Q you see there is the quality factor. This equation shows that quality factors are composite attributes of other sub-attributes of software. And these we can represent according to Markov as shown in figure 1.2. The first column there, you see quality factors. They are in composite form. They cannot be measured directly. So they are decomposed into sub-attributes of software. These sub-attributes are called criteria. They are still too high to be measured directly, and they are further subdivided decomposed into measurable metrics. These are attributes that are now measured in this form that we can now measure. Most of the metrics defined by McCall et al. In 1977 can measure only subjectively. Subjectively in the sense that a checklist is used and in a grade of scale of 0 to 10 or low to 5, at least 1 to 9. You have to use the software and now grade the attributes of the software. Each weight given to metric in this form of measurement is dependent on local products and concerns. That is why we say they are subjective measures. And I've asked just my contribution to software metrics. The first thing we look at is the checklist method. We use it. Neekay and Akwukwuma adopted the nominal group technique hierarchy process model to evaluate the quality of software products. The aim of the evaluation was to provide constructive suggestions to improve the overall performance of student online course registration software. Computer science students and ISM were asked to list all quality factors necessary to appraise software. 6 quality factors were listed, and they are reliability, functionality, usability, efficiency, maintainability, and portability. An analytical hierarchy process relational scale of 3 numbers from 1 to 9 was used to systematically assign processes preferences. Of the 6 factors rated, reliability received the highest score with an ending value of 0.4082, while portability received the least score with an ending value of 0.067. This indicated that the product evaluated was reliable, but it is not portable because the value is too low. Among these you can find in Neekay and Akwukwuma 2009. Among the software community, there is very concept of software power. The term power has been used to describe software. However, there has been no determination and evaluation of the attributes that make software powerful. You hear software vendors talking about powerful software. You hear software users saying this software is very powerful. But In literature, we could not find anywhere where power was listed as one of the attributes of software. Neither does it have any definition, either theoretically or operationally. This prompted Neekay and Akwukwuma to examine the attributes of software with a view to determine how they contribute to software power, to formally define software power and propose a metric for it. We finally identified power as a composite attribute of software, hence recommended that power be added to the growing list of attributes of software. Our recommendation is in line. Our recommendation is in line with the International Standard Organization draft. To give software power an identity and thus make it easily recognizable, Akwukwuma and Neekay proposed a theoretical and operational definition of software power. Intuitively, power is a measurement concept that is considered extremely relevant to engineering products. The framework property-based software engineering management proposed by Breda et al. In 1996 was adapted as a guide in the search of the new measure. The proposed theoretical definition is as follows. We propose that software power is defined as the effectiveness with which software is able to interact or use various items of the computer system during its operation in relation to the volume and complexity of the items per unit time. We use capital letter P subscript S to denote software power. Software power can be quantified by using function points, that is the functional size of the software. Then the software execution time, that's the time it takes to run the program, and the speed of the processor used in running the application. We then propose the operational definition of the metric of software power as shown in question 1.2. That software power is equal to the total size, that's the functional point, over the time it used to execute the software multiplied by the speed of the processor. This presents the rate at which the software performs work. We can look at it as the ability to do, as in other engineering practices. From equation 1.2, we can see instead for units for power, we know that processor speed is measured in hertz. So hertz is something as cycles per second. Time is measured in second, so the seconds cancels out. So number of function points really is just a number, so it does not have unit. So it is number of function point count as a numerator per second as the denominator. We then adopted Viola as a unit of software power, and we define Viola as the function point count of a software per megasecond. That is to say, 10 raised to the power 6 Viola is equivalent to 1 function point per second. Viola is coined from the names of the researcher, Viola, that is me, and this can be found in Akwukwuma and Neekay 2010A, Akwukwuma and Neekay 2010B. Madam Vice Chancellor, we validated the model using discrepancy, a software developed by the then Computer Center, University of Benin, for the audit department of the university to detect discrepancies in allowances paid to staff. 5 computers with different processor speed were used to run the application, and execution time were recorded. We can find the summary of this in table 1.1. We have different 5 computers with various processor speed. And if you look at the last column 4, that the software program remains the same, despite the variation in process speed. This shows that the metric proposed is it is independent of programming language used to write the software. Madam Vice Chancellor, this can be found also in Akwukwuma in 2011. I may go here to say now that this is the first time the software attribute power is being defined both theoretically and operationally. The next attribute of software we look at is adaptability. The environment in which software products operate is highly unpredictable due to the rapid changes in hardware platforms, as well as changes in the operating requirements. Adaptability is the degree of ease a system shows in being modified to meet a change or deleted requirement. Quality of object-oriented software is expressed by measuring the internal attributes using object-oriented design metrics. To measure the quality of object-oriented design metrics, Udo and Akwukwuma alone a software analyzer using properties that consider the interrelationship within and between classes of objects, dependency, composition of classes or objects of object-oriented software. The internal properties we talk about are coupling, cohesion, inheritance, and complexity. The model design is shown in figure 1.3 with 6 components. The analyzer does not only measure the metric values of these internal properties, but also incorporate decision rules. Have the decision rule component as the 4th component there. But also incorporate decision rules which were formulated using the threshold values, range, and the desired level of internal software properties to ascertain the level of the metrics. The desirable level for the internal software properties is that the coupling should be low. That is the only way the software can be adapted. Cohesion can be high. Inheritance low and complexity low. Source code of 40 open source software written in Java we analyzed with the developed analyzer to retrieve the required software metrics. Its results were compared with the result of 10 other software metric tools, and the summary is shown in table 1.2. From our own analyzer, we saw that coupling between objects is 1.52. Response for coupling is 14.04. These values fell within the threshold values. We said that the result is reliable, and this can be used by software developers for assessment of the quality of object-oriented source code development for appropriate corrective measures before the software is finally released. This can be found in Udo and Akwukwuma 2016. We also developed and implemented processes to predict adaptability level of object-oriented software using software metrics. 2 metrics were used for each associated internal software properties of adaptability to ensure accurate property measurement. For example, look at table 1.3. For coupling, the 2 metrics used were coupling between object and response for coupling. And for inheritance, we use depth of inheritance tree and number of children. The threshold values of these metrics were indicated and properly categorized into 3 levels: adaptability, fairly adaptable, fairly adaptable, and poorly adaptable. 12 open source Java projects were analyzed, and the results show that source codes with low coupling, high cohesion, complexity easily adapt to new operating environment with little or no modification to the source code. This can be found in Akwukwuma and 2015. We also formulated a software adaptability metrics model using ordinal logistic regression in order to establish a relationship between the internal and external attributes of object-oriented software. The results from the analysis of object-oriented software source code by Uda and Akwukwuma 2016 were used as a data set. All ratios for the 4 predictor variables coupling, cohesion, inheritance, and complexity were calculated using parameter estimate table from the output of running ordinal logistic analysis or SPSS. The result is summarized in table 1.4. We see here that the odd ratio for both low-high and high-low are constant across the possible cut points of the outcome. High cohesion is associated with adaptability because the odd ratio from our result is greater than 1, about 7.97. Low coupling, inheritance, and complexity are associated with adaptability because their odd ratios are less than 1, as shown there. With this, we're able to substitute these values into the equation 1.3 to get our adaptability metrics that are formulated. The model is valid since the effect of the explanatory variables were the same across the different thresholds. This can be found in Uda and Akwukwuma 2019. Madam Vice Chancellor, we also look at component complexity metrics. Component-based software development involves composing software system from existing software rather than building from scratch. The process of selecting an ideal component for composition is a challenge of component integrators, and determining the level of component complexity requires the application of software metrics. 4 parameters that define software component complexity are: 1. Software component constituency and interaction. 2. Data type of components, value return or passed, and incompatibility. 3. Coupling, and 4th one is cohesion. Madam Vice Chancellor, there are existing black box with complexity metrics, but none of them consider these 4 properties. We propose a hybrid component complexity matrix that considers all the 4 factors or 4 parameters that I have just mentioned. We said black box. Black box component complexity. Black box is in the sense that the source code are not known. The proposed hybrid component complexity matrix for software is a combination of existing component complexity matrix, and is shown in figure 1 in equation 1.4. Hybrid component complexity matrix is equal to the interface complexity matrix plus the coupling matrix plus the cohesion matrix. J there is component being considered. The proposed matrix was tested on a university student information system with 8 components, component 1 to 8. The results showed effort, cost, and time required to integrate all the 8 components of the student information system. The advantage of the hybrid component complexity matrix is that it achieved functional independence, which causes software components to become easy to maintain, have reduced error in propagation during composition and reusability. The detail of this can be found in Akwukwuma et al. 2019. Then the next important very important subject factor that we look at is reliability. Software reliability deals with the failure of free execution of software products. Early software reliability prediction is the process of predicting the reliability of software systems before testing phase of the software development lifecycle in the absence of failure data. Neekay and Akwukwuma developed and proposed an optimized interval type 2 physiologic system-based model for requirement phase of software development lifecycle for reliability prediction using TSK, inference and gradient descent back propagation algorithm. The proposed model is shown in figure 1.5. We look at this model with 3 components. The input of the interval type 2 physiologic system are requirement complexity, requirement stability, and experience of the requirement team. And the output is requirement phase reliability. These 28 software projects were used to validate the predictive accuracy of the model. The results obtained were compared with the results from 3 existing models. 5 performance metrics were adopted: root mean square error, normalized root mean square error, mean magnitude mean square error, balanced mean magnitude relative error, and coefficient of determination. The result, when we compared it with other 3 existing metrics, we found that our own performed better. We have, for the proposed model, the coefficient of determination 0.9402. Chitazi had 0.9398. So we can see that our own is closer to 1, which shows a better prediction and more accurate prediction of the software requirements. The detail of this can be found in Neekay, Viola, 2020. Software reliability prediction model. This model predicts software reliability and the requirement and design phases of software development lifecycle, and is shown in figure 1.6. The input to the requirement phase is the reliability software metrics and the number of lines of code, K-log, or 1,000 lines of code, and the output is the reliability prediction or the number of defects at the requirement phase, which also now acted as input to the design phase interval type 2 physiologic system. And the output at this phase is design phase total number of defects. This was also compared with the work of Chitazi 2018. We only did that because he was the only one that has developed a model to predict at these 2 phases. And we use the same 5 performance metrics. We can find that for requirement phase, Chitazi result is 0.9398, whereas for requirement phase, our proposed model gives 0.9983, which is a better, more accurate prediction. This you can find in Veromica and Akwukwuma 2023. Madam Vice Chancellor, for the sake of my audience, I decided to look at my work on health and safety so that everyone can follow. Software is not all about metrics, numbers, equations, and models. There are concerns with regulations which relate to health and safety issues for work with display screen equipment. According to World Health Organization, individuals who stay long on the computer experience eye-related discomfort and visual problems. Most common symptoms are itching, redness, ocular fatigue, and so on and so forth. This prompted them and Akwukwuma to conduct a study to assess the frequency of asthenosmia and related complaints among visual display terminal users in Benin City. 136 visual display terminal users and around universities of Benin completed questionnaires which were analyzed. 30 of these were using prescribed glasses. These form the subject of the study. The other 106 who did not wear glasses were used as control. Ocular complaints among those who use glasses include ocular fatigue, who was 62.5%. In contrast to those that were not wearing glasses, ocular fatigue was 36.5%. What I say in effect, whether they are wearing glasses or not wearing glasses, so long as they stay long using the visual display terminal, they all had ocular fatigue, they all had itching eye, burning eyes. For the non-visual but related symptoms, what we discovered was people with neck ache, 46.3%, and backache, 46.6%. I know so many of us have these symptoms. Researchers are advised to take a break of VDT tasks they are doing from time to time. These symptoms will be improved through adequate correction of refractive errors and improvement in the design of the visual display terminal workstation environment of the visual display terminal. See some people, when they see that, they will do like this. What you're looking at the screen at the end, your back is aching you. You are advised to take a break. The details of this can be found. Details of this research work can be found in Nedema and Akwukwuma 2010, Akwukwuma and Nedema 2010, and Nedema and Akwukwuma 2011. Madam Vice Chancellor now, with a view to developing a software engineering-based model for mitigating repetitive strain injury among computer users, Akwukwuma will be an attempt in a survey within the university of Benin environment, administer questionnaires to elicit information pertaining to RSI repetitive injury. 152 respondents reported some form of discomfort while using the computer. The most common discomfort reported by the respondents are backache, 32.3%, closely followed to this by arm pain and the neck pain, shoulder pain and neck pain. We then developed a software engineering-based model for mitigating repetitive strain injury, as shown in figure 1.2, with 3 components. It's an econometric model. The model is both detective. It can notice when you have moved your mouse how many times, or when you have used the keyboard, it can detect it. So it's detective and preventive. And preventive is in the sense that it can force you to go on break. The details of this can be found in Akwukwuma 2013. We then propose repetitive strain model, injury model, was now implemented, developing software, save computer users from themselves, which we call SACO, save computer users from themselves. The software system initiates a pop-up screen, informing system users of exceeding threshold time frame, say 60 minutes or whatever time you want to put, prompt them to save their work and proceed on an involuntary break after 2 minutes. Madam Vice Chancellor, there are pop-up screens already in existence. The only thing is that it pops up and telling you that you exceeded the threshold value, a time limit, and it does not force you to go on a break. But our system will automatically shut you out, so you have no choice. This is save computer users from themselves. software in 40 out of the 152 original respondents, their computers, and ask them to use the system for 2 months. Questionnaires were administered to all the 152 users. 7.5% users of SAPO installed in their system observed no symptom of repeated strain. And the one person that still has the symptom will later discover that the system had problems. This shows that SAPO improves the health of computer users. This can be found in Akwukwuma and about 2013. Software is abstract, invisible, intangible. It is just an enabler. It is not a threat to the user's health, but the medium through which it is utilized. Hence, we have used software to address the health problem encountered by computer users. With that fund conference, with software conference sponsorship, I presented this paper during the International Conference of Women Engineers and Scientists in Los Angeles. And from the 2000 recommendation, the software power should be computed and displayed on the software documentation. The proposed metric model for software power be adopted by software community for use in assessing the power of the software they procure or acquire. The adaptability level of object-oriented software should be known before they are released to the market. The optimized interval type 2 physiologic system for software reliability prediction proposed is recommended to assist software community in making informed and useful decisions in the face of uncertainty. My conclusion: software is abstract, intangible, and invisible, and as far as science is concerned, for your understanding of a thing to be scientific, you must be able to measure it and express it in numbers. The attributes of software products are what give it tangibility and visibility. The ability to measure these attributes goes a long way in providing insight into the quality of the software we produce or use, especially as the demand for better quality and more powerful software is constantly in increase. With clear software metrics, software engineers, designers, and other stakeholders are sufficiently informed to make intelligent decisions concerning software that best suited for the tasks they perform or they have at hand. Remember Lord Kevin's quote. Acknowledgement. Now unto the Lord immortal, be honor and glory forever. Lord, I return unto you this great song that you have given to me, for you are indeed the song that I sing. I wish to thank Madam Vice Chancellor, Professor Lilian Salami, and the management team of this great university for granting me this opportunity to present this inaugural lecture. I appreciate all my primary school and secondary school teachers who laid the foundation for my higher education, and to all my lecturers, especially my project supervisors. I say big thank you, sirs and ma'ams. Professor Nibera, especially thank you for being my big brother in this field. For my head of department and my wonderful colleagues in the Department of Computer Science, I say thank you. I appreciate you all. Your names are all mentioned in the books. Time will not permit me to mention everybody here. Your names are there. I want to appreciate all my students, especially my postgraduate students. Some of them, I know, they are here. Thank you, and God bless you all. Wonderful. I want to appreciate appreciate the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. S. Chemeke, the management, staff, and students of University of Delta, Akwa, for privilege to spend my 1-year sabbatical leave in your great institution. My special thanks to go to the staff of the Faculty of Computing for peaceful and friendly atmosphere to work. God bless you. So many of them are working. Thank you. And I thank my brethren, especially those of Household of Faith. My brethren, I can see so many of you. Your names are all in the books. Mama Tito Dube that I've been there for Mrs. Undergraduate days. Everything she's just there for me. Mom, you are not there, but I appreciate you. And to my parents-in-law, Daddy and Mommy Akwukwuma, I just want to appreciate you for making your home a home away from home for me. And to my husband, hope you get that. My brother, my friend, my confidant, my prayer partner, my visible enabler. Support, encouragement, patience, understanding, and for loving. Thank you. And to our lovely and wonderful children, the boys, Uzome and Victor Boy, I say a loud sounding thanks. For the joy and hope you give to us. Uzome, thank you especially for putting your expertise in producing my slides. I love and cherish it. And to my great university, great university, great university, and to my wonderful audience, I say thank you for coming. Thank you for your time.
Please put your hands together for our inaugural lecturer. As I now respectfully invite the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Veromica.
Please let's take our seats. But I request a round of applause for this very interesting lecture. Another round of applause for the software engineer. And yet, another round of applause for Professor Viola, Neekay, Akwukwuma. Alright, that's 3 in 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed an interesting lecture. Let me attempt a recapitulation of the lecture. Professor Akwukwuma has highlighted the need for measurability of software attributes. She has defined certain terms which I suppose a perusal of the lecture booklet will help us to understand. Examples of such technical terms are software metrics, exact fit, Beyond, which I have understood is a derivative, yes, from the names, from her name and that of her supervisor, right? Component complexity, adaptability level, and so on. Perhaps these terms are made to confuse people like me and make us respect the computer engineer, scientist, software engineer the more. And why not? After all, George Bernard Shaw, the Irish playwright and polemicist, reminds us that all professions are conspiracies against the laity. To escape from that conspiracy, I'm considering a degree in computer science. And that will be after my retirement. She has given us something important to take home. She has reminded us of the health implications of computer usage. She mentioned repetitive strain and stress injuries. But the health consequences may indeed be more profound and deleterious. As a way out, she developed and advocated a system called Safe Computer Users from Themselves, SACO. This system forces the computer user to take a break after spending a fixed time on the computer. I urge us to take this seriously. I will ask for it myself. I will ask that it be installed in my system, and I suppose at no cost to me whatsoever. Distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that Professor Akwukwuma has successfully showcased her contributions to the field of computer science with special interest in software engineering. We are indeed very proud of her. To place a seal on her professorship, I, on behalf of Madam Vice Chancellor, invite you to give her a thunderous round of applause one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We now invite the inaugural lecturer to come forward to be decorated by the Vice Chancellor. Please, members of the immediate family of our inaugural lecturer, please come on stage to join her in the photograph. Immediate family members, please. We'd like to have you on stage. Immediate family members. We'd like to welcome the husband of our inaugural lecturer, Mr. Akwukwuma. Please okay to put your hands together to celebrate him as stage there. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Akwukwuma, Mr. Victor Akwukwuma. We also like to especially welcome the mother-in-law of our inaugural lecturer, Mrs. Selina Akwukwuma. Please put your hands together to celebrate our mama. Welcome, ma'am. We also like to welcome Professor Dema, the elder sister of our inaugural lecturer. We also welcome Mrs. Winifred Doma, that is the niece. We also welcome you, Dr. Teli Dema. We welcome you. We also welcome the brother-in-law, Mr. Amos Gaga. We welcome you for coming, for gracing this occasion today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome and celebrate the Vice Chancellor of the University of Delta, our own Professor, Mrs. Stella Chiebeke. We welcome you now. We welcome you, Emeritus Professor Raymond Eliha. We welcome you, sir. We also welcome you, very specially today, Professor and Mrs. Emmanuel Onibiri. We welcome you, sir, Amma. We welcome our former registrar of this university, Mrs. O.A. Oshun, for being here. Thank you very much. We want to welcome all the way from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Olumide Sunday Adewale. We welcome you, sir. We also welcome this evening Professor Josiah Gafuda. We welcome Professor Samuel Emmanuel Oko. We welcome you, Professor Mrs. Elizabeth Ebochukwu. We welcome you very much, ma'am. We welcome Professor Mrs. Veromica Osumbo. We are welcome this evening, Professor Mrs. Martina Adaibo. And it's our pleasure having you here today, our own Professor Medina Kadiri. Please put your hands together to celebrate this presence. Thank you. We also like to welcome you, Professor and Mrs. Manasseh Imbonikebe. We welcome you, Sir Amma. We welcome Professor Lachire Ajayi. We welcome you, Professor Faustina Idu. We welcome you, Professor Uwa Edosama. We also welcome Professor Maureen Ebomoyi. Please put your hands together to celebrate them. We also welcome you, Professor Gideon Emenwe. We welcome Professor Osawa Ofiawe. We welcome Professor Evelyn Unuibe. We welcome you, Professor John Olomukoro. We also welcome Professor John Bodi Ibri. We want to specially welcome all members of the Emergent Church. Please put your hands together to celebrate yourselves. We also want to welcome and specially recognize the Organization of Women in Science for the Developing World, Oslo, United Chapter. Please put your hands together to celebrate them. We want to welcome very specially all students from the University of Delta, Abo. Please celebrate yourselves. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It is on this note that we come to a conclusion of the 299th inaugural lecture in the inaugural lecture series of the University of Benin. Please let everyone be upstanding as the Vice Chancellor will take a recess from the auditorium. Please be upstanding and you remain where you are. Now we'll take the Unibet anthem and then the second stanza of the national anthem. Please remain standing while the Vice Chancellor